Hey Pisces, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina, otherwise known as Sinfulpluto, and today we're doing your Mercury retrograde readings. Okay, this is going to apply to Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Keep in mind that this is a general reading, so it's not going to apply to everyone. Take what resonates and leave the rest that doesn't. Take it all with a grain of salt, and most of all, have a good time, enjoy yourself, sit back, relax, have a snack, drink some water, that's not good stuff. Okay. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at sinfulpluto.com. I'll be linking it down below as well as up in the cards. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm using the Spacious Tarot today. It's my favorite deck. I love it so much. If you're interested, I'll be linking it down below. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So this is going to apply to Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I don't know if I already said that, but if not, I'm saying it. So let's get started. Let's see what's going on for Pisces. What's going on for Pisces, this Mercury retrograde. All right, what's going on for Pisces, this Mercury retrograde? What's going on for Pisces? Okay. All right, so we have the Explorer or the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so impatience, inconsistency, giving up too easily, wanting instant gratification. We have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. I think who got this? Libra got this. Queen of Pentacles reversed. All right, so some sort of issue with codependency. Again, giving up too easily on yourself. We have the Devil reversed. Capricorn energy. We have the King of Cups. We have the Emperor reversed. We have the Three of Swords, it's not the Swords, the Three of Wands reversed. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords reversed. So overall theme for this Mercury retrograde is the Eight of Swords reversed. So Pisces, for you, the overall theme for this Mercury retrograde has a lot to did I say retrograde? Retrograde. The overall theme for you within the next few weeks has a lot to do with basically breaking out of the mental prison in which you've locked yourself. This has a lot to do with breaking out of any sort of victim mentality that you find yourself in, or, feeling sorry for yourself, or feeling like the world is somehow against you, feeling like you don't have a choice, feeling like you are powerless, feeling like you like there's nothing that you can do in order to change certain things, kind of just like being stuck in this woe is me sort of mentality, which honestly isn't necessarily like rare coming for Pisces. That's not a jab at you. That's just like, from what I've observed, it's something that happens a lot. But I mean, any human does that. But anyways, yes. So having this Eight of Swords reversed definitely talks about you breaking out of that sort of pattern, you breaking out of the thought pattern of you being helpless, you being a victim, you feeling like the world is against you, feeling like you don't have a choice, feeling powerless, that sort of thing. And honestly, this entire spread kind of reads as like helplessness and learning how to be helpless, because maybe that's what has garnered the most response from people. For you, Pisces, I think this retrograde is definitely a lesson for you to learn how to take action, how to take initiative and hold yourself accountable. I think that is a really great opportunity for learning or further developing emotional maturity and learning how to properly deal with your emotions with situations at hand, and not automatically just like falling into like this victim sort of mentality, or falling into this sort of like damsel in distress sort of thing. I feel that this retrograde is really a great time, an opportunity for you to hold yourself accountable, for you to learn how to take action and how to healthily approach certain situations and directly face certain things, whatever that might be for you, right? So we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed, right? This to me talks about impatience, it talks about inconsistency, and it also talks about giving up too quickly, and it talks about wanting wanting instant gratification, right? And I feel that for you, Pisces, you might have been finding yourself in situations where if something seems too hard for you to do, or if it seems moderately challenging, you don't want to do it, you give up, or you go back to the sidelines and expect other people to do the work for you, okay? Especially with this Queen of Pentacles reversed, which I described as like someone giving up too quickly. You know, there might be some sort of issues of codependence and like expecting other people to do the work for you. That might be a theme that comes up for you in the coming weeks with this retrograde, and it might be something that you have been kind of acting on for however long before this retrograde, and this retrograde is like really making you reflect on that. So with that card, right, we have like that codependence, whatever I said, like everything that I described, right? And I feel that with this Devil card reversed, this definitely talks about learning how to break out of that pattern, learning how to break out of like the learned helplessness, learning how to take initiative for yourself and find a different approach to things in life, right? Because even though you might not be able to control, even though you can't control what happens to you, even though you can't control certain circumstances or situations that happen in your life, you definitely have control over the way in which you react, the way in which you approach things, the way in which you handle things, the way in which you handle your emotions, and like the internal sort of stuff that is everything that you do have control over. So with this Devil reversed and with the Eight of Swords reversed, this definitely to me talks about learning how to break out of the learned helplessness, learning how to properly handle certain situations, and I think develop a stronger sense of patience and endurance and willingness to get things done. Again, because I have that Knight of Pentacles or the Explorer of Pentacles reversed, right? That's like wanting instant gratification. This is wanting to take a shortcut. This is wanting things easily. This is like wanting to do things the easy way, not wanting to really challenge yourself. So I feel that with this retrograde, this is definitely a time for you to challenge yourself, to push yourself past what you know and past what is familiar to you, in terms of the way in which you have handled certain situations in your life. This to me talks about learning to value the gratification that you get over like long-term work, right? This is learning how to value long-term success over instant gratification or short-term gratification. Learning to like basically see the bigger picture and see how you can improve like overlying or underlying things, I guess you could say, or basically knowing how to like, okay, so the way that I'm like kind of thinking about it, I know like I'm all over the place right now, but the way that I'm kind of thinking about it is like, you can't always expect other people to pick you up when you fall. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me of like those videos of parents who like let their kids whenever let's say like a little kid falls, right? And like the parent watches to see like one, if they're like okay, if they're safe, and like if they are, then they let the kid like learn how to like pick themselves off the ground rather than like immediately going to help them. You know what I'm saying? So that the little kid can learn endurance, how to like deal with like times in which they have fallen and like pick themselves up again, that sort of thing. So I feel that with this Pisces, it's like learning how to pick yourself up when you fall rather than like expecting somebody else to like pick you up at the moment's notice. You know what I'm saying? Like learning how to basically go through the challenge of falling and seeing if like you're okay, and like learning how to properly handle those situations rather than kind of like falling and then like having someone help you the entire time, or like just like I said, pick you up without you really being challenged, or without you challenging yourself to do the work first. You know, that's kind of like what I'm trying to get at. So yeah, we have the King of Cups, right? So learning how to be a lot more emotionally mature, learning how, like, challenging yourself to handle your emotions properly, to handle and regulate your emotions in a healthy manner, learning how to deal with everything that you end up feeling rather than like maybe numbing yourself or maybe throwing a tantrum or whatever have you, learning how to really like self-regulate and learning how to like organize your emotions and like that sort of thing, you know what I'm saying? Rather than again having that tantrum or numbing yourself or feeling bad for yourself or falling into that victim sort of mentality, that sort of thing. And so Emperor reversed again kind of talks about you being a little bit passive, you not taking action or initiative for yourself, expecting other people to do the work for you. This to me talks about learning how to stand up for yourself, learning how to stand your ground, learning how to take initiative in your own life rather than expecting other people to do the work for you, rather than expecting other people to like hold your hand throughout the entire process and like soothe you at a moment's notice and whatnot, right? Again, learning how to pick yourself up after you fall, right? That's kind of like a big theme that I see for you. And then with the Three of Wands reversed, this to me talks about self-restriction, and it talks about this to me kind of like talks about learning how to be independent, learning how to take care of yourself, learning how to be self-sufficient, self-sufficient. Rather than like being spoon-fed or whatever have you. I feel like this is really saying go, like, it's almost like you need to like learn to like kind of like grow up a little bit and make mistakes on your own and learn how to handle, like learn from your, like learning how to like learning from your mistakes rather than like having people basically clean up your mess at a moment's notice and like going about your life and then like having everyone else just like do everything for you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a need for like self-exploration. There's a need for exploration in general, learning from your mistakes, learning from your experiences, and learning how to like pick up after yourself. This honestly feels a lot of like lessons that a little kid would learn, or that a little kid needs to learn, like learning how to pick up after themselves after they make a mess with their toys, learning how to regulate their emotions properly, learning how to deal with disappointments or frustrations or some sort of conflict or whatever the case is. Like these are things that, you know, like children learn, that they have to learn, so that when they grow into adolescence and later into adulthood and everything, they know how to like handle these things properly. This isn't to say that you're being a little kid who doesn't know how to do these things, but it just reminds me of that. But yeah, so Three of Wands to me really talks about just like learning, being open to learning from your experiences, everything that I just listed, and having new experiences rather than like being boxed in. I feel like it's important for you to spread your wings and to do things on your own rather than like maybe being the shadow of another person or like expect someone to hold your hand throughout the entire new experience and that sort of thing. Like you can't always expect other people to be holding your hand when you are experiencing something new or when you need to experience something new. There are certain things that you just kind of have to do on your own. And even though that might seem scary, it's very necessary, Pisces. So, you know, just keep that in mind, you know? It's a good time. Honestly, I really enjoy this spread for you, Pisces, because I think it's so essential to learn, and to kind of grow out of like the learned helplessness. So I think this is something really great to reflect on for you, Pisces, like where in your life might you feel helpless in your life, or where might you feel like you don't have a choice or whatever have you, and how can you reclaim that power so that you don't have to continue feeling that way. Again, or I just want to disclaim very quickly, this does not apply to people who are like in abusive situations or in toxic situations or just anything that is like super extreme to the point where, you know, like they are kind of being robbed of a choice. I'm not referring to that. I am referring to just like normal, like day-to-day situations or whatever have you. I'm not referring to anything that has to do with abuse or with trauma or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is something to reflect on. I really hope that this was helpful. I feel like I repeated myself a lot. I'm sorry. But yeah, I hope it was helpful. I hope that it brought a certain sense of awareness for you, Pisces, and I hope that you were able to reflect on these themes for you this retrograde. Yeah. So comment down your feedback in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you have to say. Give the video a thumbs up, share with your friends, family, loved ones, or anyone else who needs to hear this message. And if you want to book a reading with me, like I said, you can do so at sinfulpluto.com. And if you want to find me on social media, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Sinfulpluto. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to know when I upload my videos. And with that being said, I'll talk to you later. Bye.